Welcome to Now in the 90s, where we look at the game releases of 30 years ago today. This week, we got a dinosaur-themed platformer, a shoot-'em-up from Hudson Soft, and a platformer from Hudson Soft. Hi, I'm your host, Jared, and today is September 9th, 1992. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is America's #1 home meal kit delivery service. Everyone needs more time to do important things like play video games from 30 years ago. Why spend time thinking about what you're gonna eat tonight? That's where HelloFresh comes in. They send you all the ingredients you need for an easy, healthy, home-cooked meal every single week. They have over 50 weekly market and menu items to choose from to help make thinking about dinner easy while you're focusing on everything else in your life. One of the best things I've gotten out of it is expanding my cooking skill set. It's pretty narrow, and nothing feels better than being able to level up different parts of my life, and that can include making food, or even just discovering foods that I didn't even know that I would like. If you want to get started for yourself, click the link in the description below, or go to HelloFresh.com and use the promo code POGJaredSEPT16 for up to 16 free meals, plus 3 additional surprise gifts across 6 HelloFresh boxes, all with free shipping. Once more, click the link or use code POGJaredSEPT16 and get yourself started on a more convenient, healthier life today. Another day, another movie game adaptation. Released this week in 1992 was Dino City for the SNES. Dino City is a straightforward platformer. Ride your dinosaur to the end of each stage, avoiding obstacles, attacking enemies to defeat them, or just jump on their head. At the start, you can choose between the boy and his dino or the girl and her dino, with the only difference being that one has a melee attack and the other has a ranged arrow. Navigate through plenty of prehistoric themed stages, do some bonus levels, and defeat bosses. Dino City is not just another themed platformer among the dozens you can already find on the SNES. It is based on the 1991 movie Adventures in Dinosaur City.
Dinosaurs, starring Bowie the far-out pterodactyl.
What's with all the rocket?
Tops the total triceratops. Rex the red tyrannosaurus. And the wacky Rockies.
See Adventures in Dinosaur City.
Gimme Claw.
Destined to be the biggest hit in 50 million reptilian years.
In the movie, 3 kids get sucked into a portal and end up in a land of dinosaurs who are very hip, rad, and cool, whom they immediately befriend and help stop some evil cavemen or whatever. I don't know, I refuse to watch the whole thing. That serves as the basis for the game, though only 2 of the kids would end up being playable. Amazingly, the game isn't terrible. Controls are fine, if a bit slippery, the stages are varied enough, if a bit simplistic, and there's some cool puzzle-solving elements. At any time, you can hop off your dinosaur to run around on foot, allowing you to get unreachable items or clear a path for your dino buddy to fit through. The only real frustrating thing is, why does it take so many hits just to kill a guy? Dino City was developed by Irem Software, who is likely most well known for developing the game series R-Type. In the beginning of 1993, Irem began running a promotion for Dino City. Purchase 2 of their games, cut out the UPC codes on them, and mail them in, and you'll get a dinosaur t-shirt. So mathematically, you buy 2 video games at about $60 each in 1992 money, and you get a t-shirt. And you also ruin 2 perfectly good SNES boxes.
Get this fabulous inflatable dinosaur free when you buy 2 copies of Adventures in Dinosaur City. Over 2.5 feet tall and ready to turn your store into Dinosaur City. Don't forget, these dinosaurs become extinct if not ordered by July 29th, 1992. So order your 2 copies of Adventures in Dinosaur City now from Republic Pictures Home Video.
Upon release, Dino City reviewed better than you'd think. It got favorable reviews from both Nintendo Power and Electronic Gaming Monthly, liking its bright, colorful graphics, and found it fine to play, even if it was meant for a younger demographic. As for the company that made the original movie, they went out of business long ago. And now, you can watch the whole movie for free right here on YouTube. Hudson Soft was still supporting their co-developed hardware the best they could. One of the games from them this week was Soldier Blade for the TurboGrafx 16. Soldier Blade is yet another space-themed shoot-'em-up, scrolling vertically and blasting away everything on the screen that isn't you. Get your first power-up and a little helper ship starts following you around. Collect and store up to 3 power-ups and end up with some devastating weaponry to take out waves of enemies and bosses. Some of the coolest gameplay innovations it had was that at any point, you could sacrifice one of your stored power-ups to do a screen-clearing bomb attack, and that helper ship that follows you around can absorb a hit for you. You can also send it out to do its own attack after storing enough energy. Also, it's not really a gameplay innovation, but I personally love the voice that says, "Alert, alert," when a boss appears. And the same crunchy voice that says, "I'll be back," when you beat them. Soldier Blade was developed and published by Hudson Soft. They originally wanted to title it Sonic Blaster F92, but wouldn't you know it, that name was already trademarked. But at least for the box art, they got it made by Yuji Kaida, who is best known for producing art for the anime series Macross, Ultraman, and Godzilla. Reviewers were not impressed by it. Electronic Gaming Monthly didn't score it higher than a 7, with one particular reviewer criticizing it for being a space shooter with a lackluster story. A lackluster story for a shoot-'em-up. Reviews used to make no sense. In either way, they were wrong. This is an awesome shooter for the TurboGrafx 16, with some butter-smooth animations, screen-filling graphics, and some seriously kick-ass music. Give it a shot sometime, which you still could, as it was released on the Wii U's Virtual Console service in 2014. Also coming from Hudson Soft this week, and also for the TurboGrafx 16, was New Adventure Island. New Adventure Island continues to follow the exploits of Master Higgins, whose new wife gets immediately kidnapped for whatever reason, and he's pissed about it. Gameplay continues to be familiar to previous Adventure Island games. Run forward and use projectiles to take out enemies while collecting food to keep your stamina meter up so that you don't get exhausted and die. Use one of 4 different weapons and sometimes ride a skateboard like a really cool dude, but still wearing proper safety equipment. The Adventure Island series originated on the NES, which had Adventure Island 1, 2, and 3. The SNES had Super Adventure Island 1 and 2. New Adventure Island came out on the TurboGrafx 16 after Super Adventure Island on the SNES, but before Adventure Island 3 on the NES. So it's like Adventure Island 2.75 or whatever. Reviews of the game were positive, but all noted that it isn't really doing anything crazy new that you gotta see. Which, they're right. It's just another Adventure Island game on a different platform. New Adventure Island would get ported many years later, as it was made available for the Virtual Console for the Nintendo Wii in 2007 and for the Wii U in 2014. Hudson Soft was acquired by Konami in 2005, which is like willingly choosing to move into a burning building. So we are unlikely to see any other new Adventure Island anything anytime soon. And for the other games this week, as always, here's Editor Dylan.
The other games released this week include Team Basketball USA on the Sega Genesis. I don't recommend this game if you like basketball, but I would recommend this game if you needed help with social studies. Seriously, look how many random factoids it shows you before a match. The last game that came out this week was Toxic Crusaders on the Game Boy. Confession, I don't know a single thing about Toxic Crusaders, but this guy looks like Sloth from the Goonies, so I'm all for it. It's actually a very competent side-scroller. Kinda starts out like Mega Man, but ends up being like the original Ninja Turtles game on the NES. Not counting those water levels, of course, which leaves us with a grand total of 5 games released on these 4 consoles this week in 1992. I've never seen Toxic Crusaders or Dino City, so you could have fooled me into thinking they were just original games. Maybe I should give them a shot, but knowing me, I'm probably just gonna end up watching the Goonies again. Back to you, Jared.
Thank you, Dylan. Here in the Collector's Quarter, Dino City is not crazy valuable. You can find the loose cartridge for less than $20 and complete for less than $100. Soldier Blade's value has skyrocketed, easily making it this week's biggest value gainer. Just the game alone is gonna cost you almost $300. If you got the case and the manual with it, it goes for over $500. New Adventure Island is fairly valuable as well, with the game card going for just under $80 and nearly $200 with the box and manual. And that's it for today. Next week, a lesser known fighter for the Neo Geo, a bizarre first-person shooter game, and some surfing. I'm your host, Jared, and this was Now in the 90s. Thank you so much for watching Now in the 90s. Please like the video and leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel. Or if you already are a subscriber, thank you so much for watching this every single week. What was your favorite early 90s dinosaurs themed movie? And don't say Jurassic Park. I saw Adventures in Dinosaur City and it was up there for me, but I don't think anything's ever gonna top Prehysteria.